And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the June 6th. It is Friday, June 6th. June 6th. That's difficult to say. I'm not let me clear that up. Wow. How is everybody doing today on this episode of Makers and Movers? Today we're going to talk about thinking like a brand, not a business. And it's already been crazy today. If this is your first time here or long time here, I didn't know who you are, where you're from, what the weather is like in your area, and what is in your cup. Yeah, those things. And then 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? We've got DTF that needs to get printed. We've got a couple fat heads that need to get done. We've got a team store that needs finished build out. We've got shirts that need to be pressed and deliveries to be made because Friday we don't schedule heavy, so we can pick up slack if any overflow from the week, and that's what we're doing today is cleaning up from the week. So I'd like to hear your 5 things, and remember, like, comment, share, sharing, caring, folks. Go click that little copy stuff. Go share this on your YouTube. Go share this in your Facebook groups. Go share. It's been a long week. It's been, you ever had those long, short weeks where it's like, where did the week go? It felt like it took forever, but at the same time, it seems like just yesterday it was Sunday. That's been this week. We've had a lot of stuff going on in the background of things today, of this week. And yeah, we're getting there with it. And one of those things we were talking with somebody was just kind of on branding and how they do it and what it actually means to them. And so I said, I'll do a topic on Friday about that. And one of the things that, I guess a couple of things, if you are in our mentorship community, we have a call for that at 9:30 today. I'm going to be posting some things in there. Pretty sure I have our mascot creation GPT in there. If not, if you're in the mentorship group, let me know if that's there. I'll make sure to put that one in there. But then another content generation one that kind of goes hand in hand with it. So we can take the images that we made, that we created for our mascots and use them in this and give us what I feel is some good content. It's what I've been building out the last, 2 months on how we do our daily stuff and have it consistent. So I'm going to have you guys test that out. So in our call, remind me. I know I will probably remember, but if you're in that call, make sure to remind me, and I will get that link posted over in the Discord. I will get that. I want everybody to run through it. You guys are my beta testers for it. Go through it, try and break it, see what works, what doesn't work, ask the questions, do the things, make it. And that's one of the perks of being a member is when I create new things, you get to be over there, and you can find that stuff down at the bottom. Now, let's check in and see how people are doing this morning. Beth, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Linda's back to the hot and humid Texas. Yeah, it wasn't too bad here. We have 2 types of weather here in July. Or in Illinois, we have winter and July. So you miss that. If you've been here for, an ASI show, it's just like hot. And Barb, good morning to you. North Central Minnesota, 58, partly cloudy, water in the cup. 3 things. Quote, install 3D printer nozzle, rest of the day off. Not a bad day, Barb. Looks like we're in for cloudiness, some rain. Air quality is it's not the greatest. It's supposed to be better here by like noon. And then it looks like cloudy all weekend, rain, and then maybe sunny Sunday. Fun day Sunday. We'll see how that all plays out for it. Hi, Linda and Beth from Barb. And Linda, 80 on the way to 95. Woo, that is hot. A hot tea in the cup and having toast from homemade strawberry rhubarb jam I bought back in Illinois. Fun fact, the Rhubarb Festival, I think, is like in 2 weeks. We have a Rhubarb Festival here. Not here. It's about 45 minutes away. It's where my daughter lives. There's the Rhubarb Festival. And I haven't been for years. But there you go. Brian, morning to you, my friend. 65 and thunderstorms, Mountain Dew. We got 1 print decals, 2 print price cards, 3 print film positives, 4 designs, 5 set up new laser. Yeah, Brian got a new laser. That's exciting, man. Brian, I might need you for some testing of some stuff. Brian's I hate to, be vague about things, but there's a handful of people that know the majority of the projects that I'm working on, Brian being one of them. And the one major one, Brian, took a different turn this week and now may include other physical things. So it just totally changes how everything looks. And I don't know. What time What time you can take a call today, Brian? I'll give you a call, run some things by you. Tanya, good morning to you. Sprinkling water here, coffee and caramel apple, Profi in my cup, social media, press shirts, a bunch of other things. Tanya, how did the house in Burlington do? Because I know we had those storms. We had that tornadic activity not too far from us. There's a restaurant that the last time we had heavy winds was probably, I don't know, 6-8 weeks ago, and that they were in old I think they were in old Hardee's at one time. So the big square sign on it, and we actually thought that it was a rotating sign because we're like, did that just stop rotating because it was cranked the other way? No, it just broke off and it spun. Now the wind did not knock it off, but it spun it even more. I saw that on my trip to UPS yesterday. So yeah, good times, right? Good times. Jeff, thanks for checking in. Morning all, 74. Possible rain there in northern Kentucky. Diet Coke in the cup, 5 things. Finish packing for vacation. Where are you headed off to, Jeff? Myrtle Beach? Or was that last year? For some reason, Myrtle Beach sounds familiar to me. And Tony says, Profi is protein coffee. Burlington House, okay. Perfect. Good to hear. And now I learned something new. Profi, protein coffee. Huh. I got the Tropic Vibe Celsius. That's what I'm rocking this morning. I'm on number 2 of that. I'll switch over to water. We'll be good to go. I'm waiting on supplies. I got supply. Ooh, that reminds me. One of the supplies coming in is banners. I got to get so I can get those rocking so we can get those out. It's a day. Okay, so remember, as we go through this, I got Jeff's going on a cruise. Where are you headed to, Jeff? Like, where are you going? Disney cruise here in October. I'm not going, but they're going on that. I don't mind cruises. Cruises, we can talk cruises for a second. Cruises I find weird. I get on the ship, everything's included, and it's like going to an all-inclusive resort. Everything's included, right? So I don't have to worry about much. So why do I want to get to a port and go walk around and spend money on food and drinks and that when my boat's free? Same thing on all-inclusive. Why do I want to leave the resort? It's free here. But they're going to do another Disney cruise this fall, and I am not going. I would be going to Printing United. So if you're going to Printing United, let me know, because I'll be on my own. I won't have Corey until like the last day of the show is when they get back. So do that, but I'll be on my own. So I'm looking for troublemaker partners. I mean, I'm looking to network with other people who are going to learn and that. Be my first time actually getting to Printing United. So who else is going to Printing United? I would like to know. Ooh, Cozumel, Belize, Mahogany Bay. First one for me. You will love it. Cozumel, been there plenty of times. I've not done Belize or Mahogany Bay yet, so can't wait to see how you do that. And Jeff, you're running the business from the cruise ship? Make sure to get the internet package and talk about running a business from it, so that way maybe a little business write-off. You know what I mean? There you go. Okay, so like I said, keep the comments, questions coming as we go through this. What do we got? We got 5 things we'll talk about today with it. We got some, tips to go along with it. And, I want to hear your thoughts on it. So totally interactive. And this thing sucks if you guys aren't interactive. So make sure to ask your questions, comments, concerns, all in there. Because this is all about, thinking like a brand and not just a business. All right. That's the big thing here. Because we've got a logo, we've got a website. Most people do. Maybe get business cards. We got flyers. We got that. But if you're wondering why people still forget your name after they buy once, or why you're not getting repeat customers, might be because you are running a business and not building a brand. Now, a brand isn't just how you look. It's how people feel about working with you. It's trust. It's personality. It's consistency. And it's memorability. Is that the word? Memorability, or the remembering you, all rolled into one. So we're going to talk about how to stop blending in and start sticking in people's minds. Now, what do people know? If you hear my name, what do you think about? That's my question. I want you to tell me. If somebody says, Todd, Fat Dad, what do you think about when that? I'd like to know. There's a brand that I've been projecting for a few years, so I'd like to know what you think of that. Maybe I'm totally off, so we'll see. All right. So number 1, your brand is a feeling, not a file. So your logo's a design, right? The brand is a vibe. It's how someone describes you when you're not in the room. It's how your work feels to people: fun, bold, elegant, trustworthy, helpful, funny, high end. If someone sees your stuff online and buys from you and immediately forgets the name, that's a business, not a brand. And you don't need, a $10,000 a month agency to build a brand. You just need clarity and consistency. What do you want people to think or feel when they see your name or your work? And that's where you start. And then you bake that into every post, every package, every customer touch point. So if you are in our mentorship community, I want you to check out the mascot creation GPT and the new content creation GPT. We're gonna talk about those in our mentorship call today, because I think those will I know they work, because that's what we're doing, right? That's what we're doing for our daily stuff. That's how we do a lot of our creations, a lot of our emails, a lot of everything that's on there with it. So we go through this, let's look at some examples of that. So, a maker chooses 3 core words: bold, playful, approachable, and make sure that those show up in every product, every photo, every email, and every sticker they send. It's those 3 things are in there with it. Another one, focuses on being clean, calm, modern, and they use their brand is like muted colors, minimal designs. It's short, it's direct copy, and they use the short and direct copy to reflect that. So there it is. What we need to do is write down 3 words you want people to associate with your brand, and use them to guide you on your next post or product drop. All right. Now, next up, people buy from people, not logos. Your logo is not your personality. Brands that win show up like humans, especially for us makers. That means using your voice, sharing your story, even if it's just briefly, and giving people something to connect with beyond the product. You don't need to become a personal brand, but you do need to sound like a real person. If your entire presence is just product shots and price lists, people are going to scroll past, right? That's what they're going to do. Now, if they connect to you, your values, your vibe, your humor, chances are they're going to stick around and come back, right? So, an example of this is a maker writes a casual caption that sounds how you would talk to a friend, right? They include a little behind the scene post, and even share some of those mishaps. That cut lines were totally off this week on a project that needed to be done, and I could not get it to register for anything, and I did not have the time to mess with it. So we have print partners. I reached out to them and was like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And they're like, "Absolutely." They took care of it. We got the job completed, because it was faster for me to do that, and I can schedule that time this weekend to go through and figure out what was going on and why it didn't register the way it should have. It could be dirty pinch roller. It could be something off somewhere. I did not have the time for it anymore. And we'll just take pictures and go from there with it. I'll have to pull them out of the trash, because it was upsetting. Maybe another maker includes a quick handwritten note in each package that signs off with, "Hey," something like, thanks for supporting this little dream of mine. All right. Okay. So for this one, post 1 photo or story in the next week that introduces you and your story, not your product, just your personality. Okay. And number 3, consistency builds trust. Trust builds sales. That makes sense, right? If your branding changes every week, new fonts, random colors, different tones, it's hard for customers to know what to expect from you. And when people don't feel confident, they don't buy. Branding is repetition. Saying and showing the same energy over and over and over and over until people recognize it immediately as you. This includes your visuals, so your colors, your fonts, your style, your voice. Are you funny? Are you formal? Are you bold? Are you soft? Are you an a-hole? And even your delivery or customer service tone, right? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be recognizable. Me, What am I usually in? Hat, hoodie, shorts, flip-flops, painted toes, right? That's what we've got me as an avatar, and that's what's in every one of them. We've got Ocho, because we're doing 8 things at once. Those are things that we're adding into everything that we're creating, so people learn that that's what we are and who we are. So, a maker sticks with the same 2 fonts, 3 colors across their labels, their website, and social media posts. So everything looks polished and familiar with it. And another one always uses warm and encouraging tones in emails and messages. So direct messages are sent out, emails that they're going, even when problems pop up, they use that same tone. Customers remember how it felt. So what we can do is look at your last 5 posts, right? Look at your last 5 posts, look at your homepage. Do they look and sound like they came from the same business? If not, tighten that up. Tighten that up today. Okay. Before we go, I'll see if there's any more in here. I need some chitter chatter. There's not much in here. This is, it's just Jeff. Negative. No net week for me. Ooh, Jeff, you're going to go crazy. I would go crazy. I went that. I was there. All right. Excuse me. Number 4, be rememberable, not just present. Does that make sense? The best brands stand out with tiny, thoughtful details. It could be a funny phrase, a certain packaging style, a photo backdrop, or a specific way you say thank you. You don't need to be flashy. You just need to say something that makes people remember you. And this is what's going to turn those one-time buyers into repeat customers. You become part of their mental file for who to go to when I need blank. This is who I go to when I need shirts. This is who I go to when I need banners. This is who I go to when I need flyers. This is who I go to when I need event setups. That's how it is. So an example of this is, someone always uses bright pink envelopes with lime green thank you cards, right? Customers start looking forward to seeing them in the mail. They know, oh, there's that envelope. I know what's in it. It's just part of it. Another one, ends every social media post with the same phrase: made with hustle, packed with heart. And it becomes their signature with it. So the actionable step with this is choose one small, repeatable detail and make it yours. That could be a color, a phrase, a sticker, or a sign off, and start using that everywhere. That's all you have to do. And Brian got a good one here. Brian says branding is how a client or potential customer feels about you and your customer, right? You and or your customer. There we go. Thank you for that, Brian. And now, number 5, brands grow faster than businesses, because here's the truth. People remember brands. Brands don't need to constantly re-explain who they are or chase customer down. Brands attract. They build trust over time, so customers feel safe buying, recommending, and returning to them. If your business feels invisible or inconsistent or exhausting to the market, it's probably a branding issue, not a product issue. When your brand clicks, everything else flows faster: marketing, pricing, word of mouth, repeat customers. So an example is a maker starts getting tagged in posts that match their brand vibe, because people recognize them and associate them with that. Okay? Another one makes notice that repeat orders rates are climbing because the whole experience felt familiar and trustworthy. So what we can do here is ask 3 past customers or friends, what words come to mind when you think of my business? Their answers will show you how strong your brand really is. So I ask you guys. A lot of you guys have used us in the past. Some of it's been years, some it's been days. But what word comes to mind when you think of my business? Put those down there. Let me know. So to wrap this up, we don't just run a business, build a brand, right? Your business sells products. Your brand sells trust, loyalty, and referrals. So our 5 things: a brand is a feeling, not just a file. People connect with you, not your logo. Consistency equals trust. Trust equals sales. Small, repeatable details equal memorability, right? Being remembered, being memorable. Is that a word? I still go through that. And 5, brands grow faster because people remember them. You don't have to be loud. You just got to be clear. So that's what we got today. Questions, comments, concerns we'll talk about next week and what's coming up. We're back to a full schedule next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't think anything is going on that's going to change that. Now, there are some things in the back end that could move some things around when it. I believe if you are in the TRW Hall of Fame, I think that's one. I have to get details today or Monday. There's going to be some guest presenters in that, doing that while Matt's on vacation. No, while he's at World Series. He's somewhere next week. And so I believe that myself and Pilar are going to help him out with that. So look forward to that next week. It's always fun to be on somebody else's platform and kind of do a Todd takeover, give my ways to do things on it. And some may love it and some may hate it. So we'll see how it all plays out. Now, with that, we're going to wrap up today. If you're on our mentorship community, that call starts here at 9:30. If you are not, you can find the link down in the comment and down in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe and share. Turn on the notifications. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so until next week, and you guys have an amazing weekend. And peace, love, press on. We'll see you then.